I think as an Afghan, what was important to me is that I am the product of an international education myself, having benefited from a similar opportunity. Most of the scholarship programs are designed in a way that they're one size fits all. But this is a unique situation. We are dealing with individuals who have just looked there for their community, their language, their culture. And they are trying to adapt to a new environment in there. And I think most of the way that we may have dealt with earlier may not be really applicable here. So those were the little nuances that we needed to take into consideration while designing and then also implementing our programs.
There's been a huge emphasis placed on increasing client voice in our programming, and that's been done in many, many ways. I mean, I think some of the most important ways are the most routine, what happens on a regular basis all the time, and that in the past few years, incorporating client feedback across more programs more regularly, more systematically, and reviewing those results has been a big initiative.
I think it's very important that anyone that's implementing these programs are listening to what the needs are by the students. Obviously, it is an incredibly complex a situation we're working with. I think we've identified that, but that doesn't mean that student voices get lost behind. And I want to make it clear that we, while we're working through, challenges that we've not seen before, we are keeping student voices at the forefront.
There's been a huge effort on our part to really respond to the student needs as much as possible, and then also coordinating very closely with universities and trying to, as much as possible, to advocate for flexibility with universities.
We had many, many grants over the years, hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, which meant that when Kabul collapsed and the Taliban took over in August of 21, many people qualified for P1 and P2 status. So we wound up putting 17,000 people into the referral program.
Legally, this is a complex process. The immigration, the visa processing process itself is extremely long and complex.
We have done a lot of advocacy and coordination with other organizations around advocacy, particularly in this really unprecedented response and the many, many challenges and unexpected ways, that we had to navigate questions and things that weren't working well and try to get them to work.
As we saw, there was attention to Afghanistan in fall of 2021, and then as the crisis in Ukraine came to be, it displaced some of the attention, especially in the news cycle in Afghanistan. And so I think there is this challenge of continuing to have this focus on Afghanistan in all of our conversations with people, especially from my perspective, collaborating with universities across the U.S. and also dedicating funds specifically to students from Afghanistan.
The U.S. has a long history of refugee resettlement work that has expanded and diversified, and yet we don't have the opportunity to study. But that decentralization, I think, also creates great challenges. There's a lot to be learned, particularly by elevating the voices of Afghans who experienced it. What priority and what place education should have in an immediate response.